So you want to buy a computer, laptop, iPad, or any of those, and you're not sure what the number and the name means in the computer. In this video, I'll tell you exactly what those numbers and name mean, so you can be sure you can buy a very good computer, so you can make a very good purchasing decision. So without further ado, let's get started. So there are 4 things you need to look out for when you're buying a computer. One is CPU, the other one is GPU, RAM, and SSD memory. So I'm going to explain to you each one of those, what those ones mean. So to make it easier, I'm going to compare it to human bodies, so it'll make more sense. So let's start with CPU. CPU means Central Processing Unit. So this is a very confusing name. We don't know what does that even mean. So let's replace CPU with human brain. So CPU, aka the brain, processes everything. So you get 2 types of CPUs, okay? One is Intel Core and the other one is AMD Ryzen. Intel Core processor, you got i3, that's very basic. Then you got i5, good for most computers, okay? i7 will be very powerful, and then you've got i9, which is the highest. So these are the numbers that you can look out for when you're looking for processor, also called CPU. So RAM equals in the brain short-term memory. So you've got multiple app opening, you've got editing, you've got, so all these things processes by RAM. Why RAM is very important? It's important because the more powerful the RAM is, the smoother the processing, so the computer doesn't lag. Another analogy I can give you is, say you go into a supermarket, you've got a trolley, okay? Your trolley is, say this is 8 GB trolley, okay? So you're going into the supermarket, you put everything, so this trolley is very tiny. You can't put a lot of stuff in there, or if you can, you push it, it's not gonna go as fast as smooth as you want. Now comes 16 GB of trolley, okay? Now this trolley is much more spacious and it can run smoothly, you can put everything in it. Another problem, it can deal with everything smoothly, you can push it nice and smooth. So that's be 16 GB of trolley or 16 GB of RAM. Now comes 32 GB of trolley or RAM, and this time this trolley is electric, so everything more spacious, you put everything in there, electric, it just goes in smoothly. So that would be 32, that would be for professionals, and which a lot of people don't need, and also is very expensive. So now let's talk about GPU. The main GPU job is the visual, and what you see on the screen is mostly they're mostly important for gamers, and you see the details showing on the screen. That's GPU is responsible for displaying those in details. And also when you do video editing, when you do lots of edits, visual effect, stuff like that, so it will show everything on screen without any problems or without any lagging. So basically, the more powerful the graphic card or the GPU is, the more smooth display of graphics and the visual effects on the screen will be displayed without any lagging and without any problems. So the last one, SSD, aka storage. This is the long-term memory in the brain, so that's responsible for remembering everything and you're not gonna forget anything. So this is responsible for saving your files, saving your videos, saving your photos, downloads and everything. So the SSD, the storage unit, responsible for these. So let me give you an analogy about storage, okay? So the bare minimum is 256 GB, Let's compare that to one bedroom flat. Okay, so you're on your own and you're comfortable living and everything you need. You're going to work, come back, lots of storage, lots of place for yourself, and you're comfortable with it. So next one is 512 gigabyte. That would be like two bedroom flat, you yourself, and extra place for guests coming and stuff like that. 1 terabyte. So 1 terabyte is like a three bedroom flat, you yourself, and then there's lots of space for a guest coming. You're gonna host parties and stuff like that. So uh, the more storage you have, the nicer for you, because you don't have to worry about if it fills up. It's not going to be filling up very easy. One thing I must add is that you don't have to worry about too much about SSD, the storage, because you can have external storage. You can plug it into your computer and it will just work as well as your internal storage. So something to bear in mind. If you can afford it, go for 1 terabyte. It's very nice, very comfortable. Everything you need, you can fit in there, no big problem. So 556 gigabyte will fill up very quick within a year or two. 1 terabyte is going to be minimum 5 years or so. It's going to save you a lot of time and headache in the long run. So let's do a recap of what we talked about. So to recap, we talked about CPU, how it compares to human brain. We talked about the RAM, how it's important, the short-term memory, and the knowledge I give you is the powerful the trolley is, the 8 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte, 32. And we talked about the GPU, the graphic card, why it's important and it's good for. The importance of the GPU is for visual effects and rendering and handling of what's showing on the screen. And the last one is SSD storage, of how much storage you need for the files, and the analogy I give you for the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. The more storage you have, the better it is, so you don't have to worry about filling it up. 1 terabyte is the best for you, if not 500, if not 512, and the minimum is you can have 256 gigabyte. Okay guys, hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching and I see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.